And so it comes down to this. Playoff game 13 out of 13. The relegation promotion decider. Bristol Huskies played 20, lost 20 in the Elite League. Whitley Bay Beacons played 16, won 16 in Division 1. The winners of this game take their place in the Elite League next season. The losers will go into Division 1. It's going to be Becky Castlewood's line to start the game, get us underway here at Ice Sheffield. I'm Adam Atman, and joining me for this one is Craig Simpson as we get ready for this puck drop. And we're underway. Huskies come out with it initially. Goes into the corner with Danielle Turnbull, who playing on this left wing of Becky Castlewood's lines. Got Kimberly Brennan on her right wing. Vicky Smith and Aisling Rafter, the D pairing. Craig Simpson, who has joined me in commentary. Well, it all comes down to this one now.
Morning, yeah, it's the game at Wembley was the big money game. This is the big money game in women's hockey to be in the Elite League next year.
Yeah,
obviously Whitley had the taste 2 years ago. Bristol have had their first season up there this year. Both teams want desperately to be in the Elite League next year. It promises to be a great spectacle.
Yeah, it can be brilliant across ice pass falls for Steph Towns, who enters the zone. It's a shot off, blocker save from Kayla Poole, comes back out and comes to Casey Trail. Picked off by Miller Peroni, who we just saw in action before. Sorry, Gemma Davis, I should say, who's got the start in goal. Kayla Poole is on the bench, but they have two goalies here. Ruby Newlands will cycle and carry out. Switches the play wide left to find Abby Coulshaw, captain of the Beacons. She'll advance into the corner, but Ruby Newlands couldn't connect on it. Bristol clearing it with Nora Egri, who we've seen in action already this weekend with the Swindon Top Cats, Hungarian-born forward, very good young talent. And Steph Towns will get in behind Sprules.
Listen to see as we obviously the early exchanges, as it was mentioned when the teams came on the ice, the announcer said it's Whitley's third game of the weekend. They've played first game Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how the legs are. Bristol obviously came up last night.
Yeah.
They've been able to relax all weekend, and this is their first action. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But plenty of energy early on from the Beacons.
Yeah, Kimberly Brennan tried to centre it for Becky Castlewood. I think it was the defender Annabella Cuss just lifted a stick, good defending. Shot just before that from distance, just flew past wide of the goal. As Aisling Rafter will collect just over 2 minutes played at the start of this game. They're still digging the puck out the corner, but Aisling Rafter's doing a good job of tying it up. It's Becky Osman in the corner there, the senior players on the team. Thunder couldn't keep it in. It's number 44. Unfortunately, we don't actually have a name on the game sheet for you. Abby Coulshaw worked it free at the centre red. Tipped in by Kimberly Brennan, but controlled by Annabella Cuss. Kimberly Brennan putting the challenge in. Will win the puck back. And Becky Dakova, the centres. Tipped in, and Aisling Rafter clears, but the momentum still with the Huskies as they carry in. Defended by Trail, good stop on the short side, the near side by Megan Craig. That'll be covered up, and we've got a face off inside the Beacon zone. So first, I guess, meaningful attack for the Huskies, and they'll get an offensive zone face off out of it, Craig.
The Huskies are a new team. This is only their second season. Obviously a lot of experience from the old Swindon team. That was a perennial, hovered around the top division, the elite in the Prem back in the day as it was the Prem, but so a lot of experience in the Bristol lineup. So a big challenge for the Beacons to overcome. But early exchanges, as we said in the last game, feeling each other out. They haven't played each other for a couple of years, so
no, they haven't. And it was those two teams that were going for promotion just prior to lockdown as the Miller Peroni gets in behind, gets a shot off, but good save by Megan Craig. It's the Swindon Top Cats line really, that Miller Peroni, Katie Edgington, and centred by Nora Egri. that will see a line change for both sides. It's a big wind-up slap shot there from the Huskies. It will bring the play back into the Beacon zone. That line will stay out there for the Huskies, in fact, against Becky Castle-Wood's line. More Egri. To Katie Edgington, who's a strong goal scorer. Peroni works it back. And, over on the far side, it's Danielle Turnbull into the zone, and will chase after it. Becky Castle-Wood will go with it too. And, it's cleared over on the far side by Emily Benson. Becky Castle-Wood controls behind the back of the net. Comes back out. Over to Vicky Smith, who has time to control. The Huskies will use the opportunity to complete their line change. Ashing Rafter, but just getting away from it. Back to Cuss. And comes in.
I think it just stuck on the ice, and the puck wasn't where Ashling thought it was.
That's right, yeah. And no ice cut between the games, but there will be one straight after this period, so the ice is essentially going to be at its worst at this point. Becky Castle-Wood getting tangled between two Huskies players even. Joy Scott Russell. Ruby Newlands battling. Another one of Swindon contingent there. So although the Huskies themselves, this is their first game of the weekend, a lot of the players have seen action throughout the weekend with Swindon. Shot comes in, that was confidently taken by Megan Craig. Yeah, made that look easy. One of the top young goaltenders in the league, Megan Craig.
Yeah, it was very casual, but almost like, yeah, I've got this, no problem. Everybody kind of, team can have confidence in Megan at the back there.
You certainly can, yeah, and that's exactly what the team need. It's, as I say, it's a nervy start, but it's a tentative start by both sides. As Ruby Newland sends one in, that's going to be taken by Gemma Davis, and we'll hold on. And we'll get the face-off inside the Huskies zone this time. Steph Towns' line will stay out. Ruby Newlands on the right wing, Abby Coulshaw on the left. Goes back for Cuss. Back to Casey Trail. Rachel Stockdale's open. Trail winds one up, takes a deflection off a Huskies skate. It was Osman, I think, who directed it away. Coulshaw putting in off the left wing. Good hands by the GB International, who fires, forces another save out of Gemma Davis. Ruby Newlands just letting her know that she's there. I think Becky Osman not too impressed though, but just letting Davis know she's there for any rebounds.
Trying to get Casey involved with a shot from the point. Obviously a brave Bristol player to stand in front of the Casey Trail slap shot, but it did the job.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to defend one of them, even with a helmet. Cut through traffic from Steph Towns from the high slot, and Davis will hold on once again. Steph Towns just finding her range right now, and we'll get another face-off. It will stay inside the Huskies zone. Experienced professional, really. Steph Towns, who one of the alternate captains with GB right now. Fan shot from Abby Coulshaw, you don't see that often. That was a collector's item. Smith defends well, Coulshaw there to help her out with Mila Peroni trying to put the pressure on. Another Egri put in Ashing Rafter under pressure as well. The Hungarian ball forward. Doing well as Towns will carry out. Shot comes in, it's blocked. Ruby Newlands picks up the pass. She sort of skipped over the blue line to make sure she wasn't offside. One timer from Turnbull comes back out to Steph Towns, who fires and scores! Steph Towns gets the go-ahead goal. And if it was going to be anyone, you put your money on Steph Towns breaking the deadlock. Great shot.
I mean, what can you say? That's what Steph Towns does.
Exactly what Steph Towns does.
Around the net.
Yeah.
And big goal for Whitley. That'll settle if there were any nerves that'll settle us down. A great finish. Made space, got into space just at the bottom of the circle, and then found the top corner beyond Gemma Davis.
Yeah, and Gemma looked very sharp early on, dealt with all the shots, but that went top shelf, top corner. Not going to save them. Perfectly driven shot by Steph Towns. That experience that she's got of playing in these big games coming to the fore there. Confirmation of the goal then. Steph Towns with a goal. Kimberly Brennan. Becky Castlewood is offended. Body checking cool. Casey Trail with the assist. So there is going to be a power play now.
6 minutes
to the Beacons, so body checking call as Becky Castlewood was upended. It's going to be Cuss who goes into the box. That's a bit of a shame for the Huskies because she's looked dominant at the back there in these early exchanges. Had a lot of ice time early on.
Yeah, certainly noticed her in the early play with putting the body on in front of the net, and I say it was the centre ice official who spotted it through traffic, made the call, and first special teams of the afternoon.
Yeah, Becky Dekova takes that one in the ankle.
Checks notes out of the morning. Yeah.
Yes, and just until the morning, I think. Yeah, as Steph Towns will check back. So Becky Castlewood will centre this unit. Steph Towns on the point with Casey Trail, Ruby Newlands and Abby Coulshaw also out there. Trail with a nice drag back, gets a bit of space for herself. Great control of the puck. Towns switches it over to Abby Coulshaw. Finds Trail on the boards as Nova Egri got a piece of it on the way through. Beacons patiently trying to outwork the net. Back door, it's agonising there, it stopped, it was sitting in the crease. Ruby Newlands just couldn't get herself free to get the shot off.
Gemma had the part out to stop the initial chance, and then I say Ruby couldn't convert and managed to get a glove on it and draw the face off with this.
Yeah.
This power play line of Whitley Bay is offensive in the best possible way. This is there's attacking options on every possible wing, and it's certainly exciting once it gets going. I'm sure it's exciting to see.
All GB internationals, past, present and future. And, Becky Castlewood back in the day, and of course captains the GB ball hockey program as well. Steph Towns, nice layoff by Casey Trail. Becky Osman will gather in the neutral zone and dump in. That's so far been a good kill by the Huskies. 42 seconds left on this Beacons power play. Steph Towns will carry the puck. Gets through the neutral zone. Ruby Newlands is open on the far side. Abby Coulshaw spots her, but Ruby Newlands with a back to goal, not really in a position to capitalise. Over to Steph Towns. Beacons looking to try and get set here. Back to Coulshaw. 18 seconds left on the power play. Coulshaw to Towns, they don't want to rush the shot, they want to try and set it the perfect opportunity, but she fans on that. Nova Egri will pick off and dump in and go back to the bench for a final change on this kill. 5 seconds left with all the Beacons to work with on their power play.
Yeah, that was a collector's item, wasn't it? A Steph Towns misfire like that.
Yeah, that's right. Abby Coulshaw did it earlier, and very rare for either of them to do that under normal circumstances. Lay off there from down the far side. Danielle Turnbull to Kimberly Brennan, who fires, it went in, but come back out, I think off the underside of the bar. Official quick to say no goal. That was a fiercely driven effort. It pinged the underside of the bar and come back out. Brennan, and she wind up again. Block a save, rebound, Cuss tried to usher it back, I think, under the glove, didn't she? But wow, that was a fantastic shot by Kimberly Brennan.
And a great pass across as well to create the space.
Yeah, I think was it Danielle Turnbull with the pass there?
It was, yeah. Just checking the squad list. Yeah, great pass across, and the shot hit with some venom, but just striking the iron and washed off straight away by the official right on the goal line.
Yeah, Ashing Rafter clears. Claire Turnbull brought down. Same surname, but they're not related. Danielle Turnbull from Tyneside, Claire Turnbull from East Kilbride in Glasgow. Kimberly Brennan, another of the Scottish contingent from Prestwick near Ayr. Abby Coulshaw takes it away from Becky Osman. Full short, controlling while she's on her knees. Works it out wide. Whitley captain. Gets a return pass, fires. Ooh, it popped through the glove and wide of the goal. To Katie Edgington. Rachel Stockdale gets a piece of it, comes to Ruby Newlands, who has Aisling Rafter over. Back heel almost there by Steph Towns. It will fall for Ruby Newlands, who will carry in, drag back, gets in behind Curse. Fans on the shot. That's all of that line is now fanned on an effort at one point. Steph Towns floats one over towards the angle of the barman post, and Gemma Davis will control. 8:58 remaining in the period, and offensive zone face-off for the Beacons.
More strong stuff from the Beacons. Have certainly had the better of the exchanges so far.
Yeah.
The goal and striking line as well.
Yeah,
they've settled down quicker.
Like you said, Craig, that goal from Steph Towns has just settled them down a little bit, as it was quite tentative and nervy to begin with. Towns winds one up, it deflects and goes in! Steph Towns doubles up, it took a massive deflection off her Husky's stick. She'll not care about it though, she's just put her team 2 goals up. Steph Towns is on fire, your defence is terrified. Beacons with a 2-goal lead, 8:41 remaining in the opening period. She's gesturing to the crowd, our fans, and getting the vocal support there. And like a booster club really, with the junior team there in attendance. That's great to see, supporting their senior teammates.
Stayed down from the weekend. They were in action on Saturday. But the players and parents have stayed, and a good Tyneside contingent as well.
Yeah. Towns with the complimentary goal.
Assist to be confirmed.
Yeah, assists not quite confirmed yet, so we'll bring them to you as soon as we know ourselves. I'm sure you can hear the announcement back home, but we'll relay them just in case for you. Casey Trail on the far side.
11-19.
It's working now, the scoreboard. We had a bit of issue with it on Saturday. I think it just give up towards the end. It got overused. There's Newlands controls. I knew the feeling, to be honest, because I was flagging towards the end on Saturday. That'd be cool. Shaw controls in the corner.
And we talked more in one of the breaks, but this weekend expanding to a 3-day weekend, using the bank holiday and giving the extra games for the under-16s, having full-length games for all of the age groups, all of the divisions. It's been a fantastic event, and the women's committee led by Faye deserves a lot of credit for putting on a successful event.
Yeah. Steph Towns going to get a penalty here for holding the stick. It was it was wrapped around her, and she removed it from her, but that was it was called for the holding of the stick rather than the hooking that was on her initially. 7:26. But yeah, Craig, that's very well said. It's great, as we said before, great opportunity to have the semi-finals for the 16, sorry, and it spreads it out a little bit more. It's just like you say, it should be a 3-day event. It's the biggest weekend in the women's calendar, and I'm impressed with the amount of attendance as well.
Yeah, I mean the elite final last night. That's the biggest crowd I can remember from an elite final.
Yeah.
For a good number of years, and the format obviously supported that, and long may it continue. It's been a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Becky Osmond as the Huskies on their first power play opportunity of the game.
2 minutes for holding the stick.
Katie Edgington.
12 minutes 34 seconds.
We'll get it away. I think it's Kimberly Brennan with the clearance.
2 minutes holding the stick.
Becky Incup will clear.
34.
Kimberly Brennan works it back to Vicky Smith. Between them, they break the play up. Smith's got time to control. So very quickly, the Huskies closing in. Vicky happy to take it along the boards and eat into that time. Claire Turnbull clears it off the boards, won't come out the zone. No shot from distance, flashes wide. Megan Craig very quick to get across the line. She's one of the best goalies in the league for doing that, the way she glides across the line. That one shot wide on the blocker side. Brennan. Aisling Rafter shouting the encouragement, and that will be dumped in. They'll go for a change here. Huskies will build again. 55 seconds left on the Bristol power play then. Becky Osman in control. To Katie Edginson. Full short, working back, gets the redirect. Ruby Newland steals it back, enters the zone. Doesn't need to get the shot off necessarily. She'll take it into a corner and burn off some more time off that penalty clock. That's all she needs to do. 30 seconds left on the Huskies power play. Nova Egri's open. We'll find Jess Sprules instead. Abby Coulshaw gets back. Such a hard working player, Abby Coulshaw. Good two-way game. Casey Trail will loft it into space, into the corner, and blast it down with 10 seconds left to kill.
Yeah, should just about do it for the PP.
You would have thought so.
Good kill from the Beacons.
Yeah, Mila Peroni on the far side in front of her bench. Rachel Stockdale will control the senior member of the team. Casey Trail out wide to Ruby Newlands. Lines one up. Oh, that hit the Husky defender, Becky Osman. Well, she's a forward but was in the defensive position, but Beacons have killed it off and straight back onto the attack. Ruby Newlands, whose stick was lifted. They're going to get a whistle on the play here. Hooking. This time it's going to be on the Huskies. So, having seen their power play come to an end, they're going to have to kill one themselves. It's Becky Osman who's gone in. So, see what Miss Beacon's power play can do now.
So to roll out the big guns. Notice Casey's had to go off. She took that fall after the hooking, so
yeah,
not quite the full top line, but
she has come back. Yeah, it's okay, but it is the top power play unit.
Magic sponge on the bench and she's back in the action.
Yeah, shot through traffic. It's deflected away. Becky Castle-Wood to Casey Trail. That's the official and back again. Trail across, Towns by the Huskies, but it will find Abby Coulshaw on the far side, working it back to Steph Towns. The Bristol did well there, never gave it to get that clearance. Minute 36 left on this Beacons power play. 2-0 in lead then for the Division 1 champions. Ruby Newlands out wide to Steph Towns, who just rolls off the stick. Allows the Huskies to clear at minute 20 now on the Beacons power play. Trail to Towns. Brings it around the boards. Becky Castle-Wood works it out the corner. Back to Abby Coulshaw. To Casey Trail via a Bristol stick. Steph Towns wanted it for Coulshaw. It deflects off a Husky stick once again. Trail out the corner. Good hands from her. Sends it in low. Ruby Newlands lets off as Gemma Davis made the save. Collided with that far post. 44 seconds left on the Beacons power play. Abby Coulshaw out wide left. And works it across for Casey Trail. Got time to wind up and fire. Pops out the glove, but Gemma Davis covers up the rebound with 30 seconds left. But patient build up there from the Beacons, Craig.
Good control. I say patient, using the full zone, getting the defence to move, creating opportunity, and finishing off with a smart shot from Casey from the circle. Yeah. Impressive power play. As I say, not getting the rewards immediately, but it will kind of tire out the Huskies' day and may pay dividends later on.
Nets off again, I think. And the action of making that save on the glove side post just come off. And we'll go again. Claire Turnbull with the draw. Indy Brengan. Ashling Rafter keeps it inside. Huskies will pick off. But well done by Kimberly Brengan. She was the first one back to that. 15 seconds left on the Beacons power play. She cuts in off the right wing, carries into the offensive zone, shoots. Comes off the defender there, Becky York. And 9 seconds left to work with on the power play. 3:12 to go in the period.
If they looked up, Bristol had a player free.
Yeah, they did.
They could have played through it. It was Becky Zakova through.
Yeah.
But elected not to pass, and the chance went to begging. But
yeah, Brengan on the right wing boards. Puts it in low. Daniel Turnbull stabbed wide.
Huskies back
Huskies back to full strength. That was a good kill for them really in the end, because Beacons were applying a bit of pressure. Ashton Rafter sends it towards goal, helped on its way by Kimberly Brengan, but the Huskies were very good there, just shrunk the ice, they closed in on Kimberly. Becky Osman on the left wing controls nicely. Has Nora Egri there as a passing option, but she cuts back out wide. Vicky Smith sticking with her, forces a turnover. Claire Turnbull will leave it for Ashling Rafter. In fact, no, she'll take it off her in turn. Back to Rafter now, 2:28 to go in the period. Still 2-0 Beacons. That's Kimberly Brengan. Winds one up. Fires wide, comes back off the boards. Claire Turnbull on the far side. Beacons only really using 7 forwards, but they've got plenty in reserve. Kate Ord, who loves to snipe from out wide. Fantastic goal scorer. Boards, Nancy Trail, but pretty much playing 2-line hockey here. Short on the bench in the early exchanges. Newlands drop past to Towns, who's got a bit of space, fires. Blocker save from Gemma Davis out wide. Nancy Trail can't get over there quick enough, even with that long stick reach that she's got. Stockdale comes across. The Towns comes out of over the blue line, so Coulshaw has to check back. Minute 35 left in the period. Ashling Rafter controls.
We talked about the Beacons playing with a short bench. Obviously, it's their 3rd game, like we mentioned. I didn't get to see the Saturday Sunday games, but did they use the full bench in those games? Can they afford to shorten the bench? They're kind of making their own situation worse by playing with a short bench.
That's right, yeah, they did. I'll come back to them in a second as Steph Towns enters the zone. Yeah, they did roll out 3 lines, but Kate Ord, who scored a goal in both games, was then, surprisingly as the games wore on, she was seeing less and less time, so they shortened the benches deeper into the game. Yeah. So they've started off that way now, but she's certainly a threat that they can use later on. She'll be fresh as well. As I say, she's not had a great deal of ice on, which is a surprise really, given a player of her quality. Steph Towns is going to have a second trip to a box. I must admit, I missed that. I don't know if you saw that one, Craig.
Yeah, I was holding the stick again. She obviously likes the other player's stick. That's twice she's done that.
Just checking it out and comparing it to our own, see if.
And again, it was a similar situation. It was a tussle behind the net. The opposition player was in close, and the officials pinged her for holding the stick. So finish off on the kill, but they did well in the first PK. So see what happens.
They did, yeah. Big rebound from Megan Cray, but she kicks it away onto the right wing boards from her view. Becky Smith banks off the boards and out. 46 seconds left in the period.
18 minutes 56
Osman.
seconds.
Brennan will close it down, forces her to play, but both on the far side, and Miller Peroni. Reminder, there will be an ice cut between the first and second period, so we will have a lengthy break. But with just over 20 seconds remaining in the period, Beacons with a 2-goal lead. And if the Huskies don't convert in the next 15 seconds, they'll have some fresh ice to work with, and just under a minute. So still plenty of time for Becky Castlewood, can't control, but Becky York gets caught in possession. Puck just got away from her. She got a bit of a flick on it, Becky Castlewood, but trickled its way to Gemma Davis before she could really get a strong connection.
Yeah, it's that sticky ice again. We've seen it a few times where the puck just stops on the ice. It's had the third period of 16s and a warm-up and this period, so
that's true, yeah.
A well-due ice cut which will take place.
Yeah, well indeed, so we are going to take a break and we'll be back with you in around about 15 minutes time. Please do not go anywhere. Welcome back to Sheffield for the start of his second period between the Whitley Bay Beacons and the Bristol Huskies, the relegation promotion decider. I'm Adam Matman, and joining me for this one is
When you get your microphone working.
Just making sure you got your microphone on. Craig Simpson will join me in a second. So while we're fixing that technology, we're together now. But interesting period that. Good start for the Beacons. A little bit nervy to begin with, but those 2 goals from Steph Towns really settling things down.
Yeah, it's a nervy start from both teams. A lot at stake, and the 2 goals from the Beacons settled things. Bristol did start to show a little bit towards the end of that period, but the Beacons definitely the better of the 2 in that first 20. We'll see after they've had the full ice cuts, they've had the full interval back in the dressing room with the coaches and try and regroup and replan and see what's going on.
Yeah, it's coming at a vital time for me. Power play for the Huskies then, 57 seconds to work with on this fresh ice, and it looks like Mila Perroni is going to take the face-off draw for the Huskies against Becky Castor-Wood. Becky DeCover on her right wing for the Huskies, and Katie Edgington on her left. Comes back to Becky Inca, number 55 on D, as Perroni controls that, gets in behind Ashling Rafter, fires, popped up. Megan Craig had to take that one quite high up in her arm. It turns to the side. Becky Castor-Wood working tirelessly as always. Rafter switches it over to the balls and she'll control and deal with 2 Huskies there. Vicky Smith will cover off. Over on the far side, Katie Edgington, a shout from Gemma Davis. Shouting how many seconds was remaining on the power play. The shot off at a rising effort, and Katie Edgington collides with Becky Castor-Wood. It was into a corner. Ashling Rafter doing well, dealing with 2 players once again. Becky Castor-Wood gets it away and steals it as Steph Towns comes out the box.
Whitley Bay to full strength. Whitley Bay to full
A good kill in the end by the Beacons, but a couple of half chances there for Bristol. Got a couple of shots on net.
Yeah, the first chance in the period, the shot from Perroni, I think it was an awkward height for Megan Craig. You didn't know whether she was take it low, she had to stand up, so she kind of got caught in 2 minds, but she did enough to keep it out, and but Bristol had more chances at the end of that power play. And certainly starting as they want to get back into this game and for their elite league status, but good kill in the end by the Beacons. Steph back on the ice. I'm sure she'll not be long before she's involved in the action again.
As a Bristol player, I think it was Katie Edgington, I could be wrong though, collided with the post. Megan Craig moving out the ways, but a face off in the Beacon zone, which Sprules will wait to take. Going to move it outside the zone, in fact, as the Bristol player did collide into the goal. I think that is the correct procedure. Won by the Beacons. Cool shot, pushes it back to Casey Trail. The first time this top unit's been back on the ice in this period following the penalty kill. Poked away by the Huskies. Won back by Steph Towns. Over to Abby Coulshaw. Dragged it from behind. Drop pass to Ruby Newlands. Very well executed. Steph Towns was just reaching for that between 2 Huskies players. Ruby Newlands, Abby Coulshaw back to goal, to pivot there to get onto our forehand. As Cuss will carry out from defence. Drop pass picked off by Coulshaw. He's trying to find Becky DeCover, I think. The Sprules is up along the, sorry, Joyce Scott Russell even. As Sprules controls, goes into the corner on the far side, and Ashley Loftus on the left wing on this one. This is the 3rd line for the Huskies. Newlands carries in, drop pass. And Ashling Rafter intercepts at centre red. Joyce Scott Russell closes in. Out wide. Out of the reach of Kimberly Brengan. Katie Edgington, very proactive in getting the puck inside the offensive zone there. Laura Egri helps it on its way. The scream there of, I don't know if it was pain or just frustration that she'd lost the puck. As Becky Castlewood will drop pass to Kimberly Brenger, back to Becky Castlewood. Kimberly Brenger, just fanned on the effort, and normally has a very quick release and fierce drive.
Good puck movement as they're skating into space. The pass found Kimberly Brenger and just caught the toe of the stick and going to get a clean shot off.
Yeah, Miller Peroni sends it across to Katie Edgington. Becky Castlewood, who is just such a fantastic role model in women's hockey. Just never stops, does she? Danielle Turnbull pushes out, but it's controlled by Becky Dakova. Benson plays it over to Kuss. Becky Smith tussling with her. Aisling Rafter will come back and sweep clear. Kimberly Brenger just out of her reach. Then similarly, Fletcher couldn't control on the far side. Fletcher will re-enter the zone. Controls behind the back of the net. She's got Becky Osman up there with her. That comes in, it rode along the top of the bar and out. And clears back down. And recontrolled by Becky York with number 9. And on the far side, it's back with Fletcher again. Puck has been worked loose, but the officials were shouting to release it. There's Kay Tord, works it back loose. It's good to see her on there. The third line is out there for a first time for Beacons. Kay Tord working it up the right wing board. She's got Claire Turnbull with her and Iona Harrison putting him off the left wing. Works clear. Great story for Iona Harrison, really. Never played senior women's hockey before the start of the season. Started off with the Beacons B team, where she finished the season as leading goal scorer and point scorer, but had the opportunity to step up and play at this level, and she's certainly not looked out of place. So,
and that's the kind of thing. That's why we have the clubs like Beacons with the pathway, all three teams in all three divisions. That's exactly the kind of pathway you should have. If you start at your level that you're at, and if you do progress, that's the pathway that should be there. And more power to her for taking the chance and making the most of it and appearing here in a clutch playoff game.
Yeah, very competitive nature. She also plays for Cullercoats Ladies Football Club and quite often plays 2 games of hockey for her Beacons for the 2 sides, and again the football sandwich in between. That's that's some athlete, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you're seeing that more and more with the players. They are athletes. That's particularly at this level. They're athletes and they deserve to be treated as athletes.
Yeah. There's a shot from Coulshaw from the high slot, popped into the glove. Ruby Newlands again on the doorstep, waiting to pounce if needs be. Steph Towns will take the draw against Nora Egri. Good clean draw by Steph. Flicked by Casey Trailer, will force Gemma Davis into the cover up again as we played almost 6 minutes here at the start of the second period. But another face-off for the Beacons, Craig. Set up in the offensive zone.
They're clearing, like you say, getting in front of net and getting the pucks on net, and Steph Towns in front of Gemma Davis. Almost got a touch on that one. They're creating the opportunities, and just as I say that, Abby loses it out.
Yeah, Joy Scott Russell with the effort from distance. He plays on the top line for the Swindon Top Cats alongside Lily Endicott and Nora Egri, so she's a talented player, there's no doubt about that. Abby Coulshaw collects on the left wing. Got Ruby Newlands with her. Great hands by Coulshaw. Oh, just eased away from goal. Good strong defence by the Huskies.
Again, turning defence into attack. So Steph was pretty much behind her own goal line.
Yeah. Stick
handled a couple of players, found the pass to Abby Coulshaw, and then you're away.
Yeah, her transition game's fantastic. So we've got an icing call on the Huskies. That bring the play back down into their end of the ice. 13:30 remaining in the second period. Still a 2-0 lead to the Beacons. It's many clear-cut chances created so far in the period. That's Aisling Rafter who winds one up. It's blocked by Nora Egri, who had a stick on the ice. Egri again clears. Got him behind Vicky Smith. Aisling Rafter will come across, so will Becky Castle-Wood. We'll have to be mindful of Joy Scott Russell. That was well executed actually, because Aisling went to the player coming down the middle, and Becky Castle-Wood went to the puck handler.
Becky took the puck, yeah, great defensive play, it's a back checking, snuffing out any danger. But it shows that you cannot sleep for a minute, because Bristol they do have the skaters to attack like that, and they will cause you problems if you give them a chance.
Yeah, they will. That's going to be nice and cool on the Beacons this time. 12:50 left in the period. And brings the play down into their end of the ice. It's going to be Becky Osmond's line out there for the Huskies against the Becky Castle-Wood line for the Beacons. And it is the Whitley forward who wins the draw. Aisling Rafter collects the wee girl from Bangor, as she's known, who's at the University in Glasgow at the moment, but Northern Ireland player. Sent around the boards by Kimberly Brennan. She's been like a breath of fresh air this season. Aisling at the back, such a great addition. And captained the GB Universities team that went out to Lake Placid in January and competed at the student games there. One of the 3 Beacons players that was out there actually, along with Abby Coulshaw and Claire Turnbull. Grace Garbutt was also part of that, and Ketsia Robinson, so some big names from across the Women's League.
Yeah, at the student games in Lake Placid, it's such an iconic place in hockey history, isn't it? That 1980 vibes all around them. The final games were played in that arena where USA won the Miracle game. So not just the hockey, but the kind of just the experience of being somewhere like that is huge for the athletes to get that opportunity.
The biggest surprise in Olympic Games history. The USA students beat the almighty Soviet Union team. As Caitlin Stocks is out there. I think that's the first time I've seen Caitlin and Abby out there actually. Caitlin Stocks and Abby Robotham, 2 players who come through the Sheffield Junior system, playing for the Beacons this season, and they've been good additions as well. Reduced the average age on the defence this year. 3rd line back out there with Kate Ord, Claire Turnbull and Iona Harrison. Caitlin Stocks sends it around the boards.
It possibly shows the Beacons staff are more comfortable to let the 3rd line and the 3rd pairs play, so feeling more comfortable in the game, so letting the bench run, which is good.
Well, so there's been a lot of hockey for Steph and Abby, and even more for Ruby Newlands. Yes, she's younger, but she's been busy this weekend, and this 3rd line has been kept in reserve a lot. They can be trusted, and Soft Summers out there as well. In fact, it's not Kate Ord who's out there. But, great. The other end, good defending that by Caitlin Stocks. Oh, just had a reach of Iona Harrison, but she'll skate after this. It's going to be an icing call. Couldn't get there in time. 10:40 remaining in the period, but we'll keep the pressure back on. But yeah, I mean, with fresh legs, and if Steph and Becky and Abby Coulshaw are out there too much, they're going to run out of gas eventually.
Particularly, as you said, if it's Bristol's first. Yes, some of the players have played other teams, but it's Bristol's first game of the weekend, and
it is.
If you have extra legs, you want to use them and give yourself as much chance as possible.
Yeah, there was a lot of thought coming into this one. Is it going to favour the Beacons because they'll be a bit more game sharp, having played 2 games already? The puck's loose, the players haven't spotted it. Or because Bristol's fully rested, is it going to suit them? You just don't know, do you? Depends on the players, I guess, but what they prefer. Some prefer playing 2 or 3 games in a row and gets their sharpness ready.
Yeah, like somebody like Ruby you mentioned, Ruby will skate for days. She'll go for goal.
She'd play hockey in the car park if it was possible.
So we might say we'll come past the halfway mark. So as the game goes on, it might you might see a bit more fatigue in the Whitley legs, but at the minute they're still strong. As I say, they're rolling the third line out now.
Yeah.
And keeping Bristol more or less at arm's length.
Yeah, nice hands by Ruby Newlands, a drag back will find Steph Towns. Fences it. Oh, it was a stab by Abby Coulshaw. It was a really good save by Gemma Davis. A set up from Steph Towns. You thought we've seen that one before this season, but a really good stop by the Bristol goalie.
Yeah. Particularly last year when Bristol did what Whitley did this year and kind of ran the table in the Prem. Gemma at times Gemma's a cheat code in net, Gemma Davis. So she's again another one on the verge of the JB team pre-COVID, and she's played at the elite level for a number of teams. And she's played men's with Bristol as well. So she has the ability and can backstop Bristol to something if they can get something at the other end.
Steph Towns will control. Cycling it down low now, the Beacons, with Abby Coulshaw. Across to Miller Peroni. Now Joy Scott Russell. Vicky Trell going with her. Yeah, it's been a tough season for the Huskies, having lost every game this year. 2 against 1 here, it's worked out nicely for Ruby Newland. She's got Abby Coulshaw with her, she'll go to Lone. Fired it straight at Gemma Davis. Can't blame her for going for the effort. She created the chance herself, but did have Abby Coulshaw as a passing option there. Could have made Gemma work a little bit more for it perhaps. But yeah, Bristol, it must have been a tough season in that respect. And 0 points. Beacons last year in comparison got 8 points, 3 wins, 2 draws, including beating the eventual playoff champions, Elite League champions, Guildford Lightning, a week before they claimed that title. So, but Bristol certainly kept the score down, scoreline down in each game. Yes, they lost every game, but not by the margin that the Beacons did. Kick save by Megan Craig, out it goes. Huskies even will control. That full shot, cut off the pipes and out. Megan thought she had it, but it's Becky DeCover's effort cutting off the left wing. That's the closest Bristol have come to getting themselves onto a scoreboard.
Yeah, it seems to have opened up in the last few minutes, going both ways.
Yeah.
And closest Bristol have come, and they'll take heart from that and see if they can kick on in the rest of this second period. Yeah,
you're right. Craig will take heart from that. Abby Coulshaw's stick's gone flying. That's a sign perhaps that the Bristol glove might have had a hold of it as Benson carries in. Collected by Kimberly Brengan, with Becky Osmond sticking with her. Cleared and controlled by Benson once again. She's another one of the two-way players who also play for the Swindon Topcats. Ashling Rafter, picked off by Norla Egri, one of the outstanding young talents coming through the league right now. Her partnership with Lily Endicott for Swindon's been spectacular this season. There's nice hands from Katie Edgington. What a save! Right, it's come loose. Megan Craig thought she had it, and it just popped up out the glove. And but she made the stop, and defence helped her out as Becky Castlewood gets in behind. Clearance only as far as Claire Turnbull. Turns. Iona Harrison back out there.
Yeah, it was fantastic from Egri stick handling through to create the opportunity, and the partnership I think has got Egri and Edgington a commentator's nightmare, but a great partnership.
Yes.
Hopefully Bristol will use and try and get something from.
Yeah, bit of a collision there. Kate Ord is out there this time on the third line with Iona Harrison and Claire Turnbull. It's Iona trying to feed Kate. She's open. Nice. There was a pass from Claire Turnbull. It was away from Kate though. She was open and calling for it. And fancy Kate Ord from that position to get a shot on net. Run back by Kate actually to find Iona, but Bristol will get it away. Stolen back by Steph Towns. Brought some energy. Well, that's well saved by Gemma Davis from Steph Towns. One of Billingham's songs playing now. It's, Well, it's always popular at Middlesbrough, isn't it? At the Riverside.
Yeah.
Big bag.
Just showed you kind of sleep in the middle. I say Steph was out on the far wing, outside of the circle, but still manages to get that shot on net. So you kind of take your eye off, particularly a player like Steph, who's always got an eye for goal.
Yeah, redirection from Casey Trell there. Just slices of touches to try and redirect that on net. But that third line actually brought a bit of energy and allowed that top line to have a rest and, well, enabled them, because they were in the offensive zone, that when they come for the next shift they were already up there. So did its job, the third line. Steph Towns controls just outside the face-off circle, finds Abby Coulshaw in the corner. Back to Towns, fires, come off the blocker. That was going to have a bit of momentum and carry on towards the goal line, but it was out. Coulshaw will leave it for Casey Trail. Shoots, but comes off Becky Osmond. Casey Trail will gather in the neutral zone as teammates will retreat. But, Casey delayed there. It's almost a 2-on-0, but a good save by Megan Craig. I don't know if that came off the top of a blocker or perhaps a stick, Craig.
Yeah, smart. Get out to the edge of the crease to cut down the angle as the player was skating in. Becky Dukova stripped Casey Trail and created a chance, but it's swinging back and forth. It's wide open now.
There, fires and scores. Hat-trick marker for Steph Towns. And just as Bristol were getting a foothold back in the game, the deadliest of scorers pounces, and well, a hat-trick in a game of this importance.
Yeah, through on plenty of the net to choose from. You would have put your money on that, and Steph picks the corner. Chapeau, Steph Towns in a big game. Steph Towns hat-trick comes through, as she's done for many a season for Whitley in women's hockey. And
what a servant she's been.
Fantastic player, yeah.
So yeah, the announcement of the goal. Nova Egri comes wide. Yeah, straight hat-trick for Steph. Yeah, and what a fantastic service she's been, as we said. Recently hit a landmark at Goldwood at Milton Keynes, where her points combined with her father Paul's were going to 1,000, which I don't think any other father-daughter combination in world hockey can claim that. So, and for both her hometown clubs as well, the Warriors and the Beacons, both based in Whitley Bay. As Becky Castlewood carries out wide to Kimberly Brennan, return pass to Becky. Cuss will come across. 3:20 left in the period, and a slightly more comfortable advantage now for the Beacons. That edges them just slightly ahead as Gemma Davis will cover up. But last season, certainly, it was all about the Bristol Huskies as they won their playoffs and celebrated promotion. Exciting for them. Interesting to see what they will do next season, depending on what league they're in. There's Abby Robotham on the far side.
It's the first year of the promotion. Previously, it was automatic promotion for the promotion and relegation between the elite and the league below, instigating the playoff to give that, because as you know yourself, Adam, there's always been kind of the more or less the same two teams flip-flop back and forth, and nobody has a chance to consolidate in the top division. So this is giving Bristol that second chance to stay there and consolidate. But the chance that Whitley would have liked, obviously, having performed so well 2 years ago.
They certainly would have, yeah. But it is a good idea to do, as you say, because it's harsh if you only get 1 year at it, isn't it? As you say, to try and build something.
Yeah. Because the step up, as we saw even this weekend, the step up between WNIHL 1 and the elite, playing against GB players pretty much week in, week out.
Yeah.
The step up is big, so it just needs a big commitment from the team getting promotion.
It does, yeah. Controlled on the far side by Katie Edginson. Abby Robotham try to clear. Caitlin Stocks will regain possession. Iona Harrison will push out. Caitlin Stocks with a cross-ice pass to Sav Sumner, who lays it off to Claire Turnbull, who's just behind her. Iona Harrison, I think she was trying to produce a nice little layoff there, but it wasn't quite read as Stocks will control over on the far side. Talking about getting tongue-tied on some of the names, Stocks and Stockdale on defence for the Beacons, which is the pairing right now in actual fact. Ruby Newlands out wide to Steph Towns. Abby Coulshaw's open, finds her. She'll follow it into the corner. Coulshaw in the corner on the far side now. Minute 20 left in the period. Steph Towns winds one up, comes off a Husky stick and then way behind goal. Coulshaw helps it on its way towards goal. Shot from Steph Towns, nets off. And we'll get a whistle for that. 1:05 left in the period. This looked like, as Gemma made the save, a pad came out, the blade just kicked out. Accidental collision as the net came off.
Bristol stopped from making a line change. Obviously they felt it was a defensive player who knocked it out, so no line change from Bristol. And
back to Casey Trail, who we believe will be spending the first half of the season, at least next season, in Sweden as she continues her rehabilitation from that double hip operation. And that one's going to be covered up by Davis as it popped out the glove. Casey Trail, the first British trained player to be drafted by the WNIHL in North America, by the Buffalo Buttes.
yeah, she'll still be on their books, I would have thought, she still is a drafted player, and once she's fully fit and raring to go, we'll certainly be interested to have a look how she's doing.
Yeah, I mean that's a fantastic achievement, isn't it, for a British trained player to be drafted by a league such as that in North America.
Yeah, I mean we got wind they were interested, and we watched the draft live as it happened, and when they said, from it was a Castleton University.
Yes, yeah.
Casey Trail, and it's like
yeah, fantastic.
but yeah, I mean, and as well coming so soon after we had the Liam Kirk draft as well, so
right,
to show we had the women were kind of getting there on the same page, and there's other GB players gone out to North America who are kind of performing at that level. And Casey's the first, but I'm sure she'll be far from the last.
Yeah. Well, I believe they have changed the draft system now. That it's more like an open tryout, I think, more or training camp style scenario now. So that will do it for the second period, and it's a 3-0 lead to a Beacon. There will be a 5-minute break. We're going to take a short break ourselves. Please do not go anywhere.
Short period break now.
Welcome back to Sheffield then, for this game between the Whitley Bay Beacons and the Bristol Huskies, which will settle and decide which team will be playing in the Elite League and Division 1 next season. I'm Adam Matman, and joining me for this one is Craig Simpson. Craig, Whitley with a 3-goal lead right now, but that third goal going in after Bristol were just about getting themselves back in. It had a foothold in the game and was putting a lot of pressure on the Whitley goal.
Yeah, they were coming more into it, and we were just seeing how well they were doing. Then we got that break, and Steph picked the corner past Gemma Davis, 3-goal lead, and you have to think that kind of took the wind out of Bristol's sails a little bit, and it's a big hill for them to climb in this third period.
It is, yeah. And we bring it going towards goal. Bristol will carry out with Sprules, well covered by Kimberly Brengan, who came across. Tipped away with the low stick from Megan Craig. Ashing Rafter in the corner. It's well kept inside by the Huskies. Ashing Rafter behind the net. Casey Edgington going to work it clear, but it's Becky Castlewood who tidies up at the back. Castlewood up along the boards. Nora Egri. It's charged down by Kimberly Brengan. Katie Edgington dropping back into like an auxiliary defensive position there. If you carries it forward, you can hear Abby Coulshaw giving instructions to Kimberly Brengan there. Darwin-born forward who started out with Blackburn Hawks men's second team a few years back. Playing for Bradford in the second division. Big rebound from Gemma Davis, a booming shot from Seth Towns, and a bit of hacking and slashing. The rebound from Ruby Newlands, unable to be steered home. But that's quite common with some of the girls, isn't it, Craig? Where they'll play in the WNIHL North too. Jodie Alderson-Smith plays for Coventry, and as mentioned, the likes of Abby Coulshaw and Sam Bolwell playing for Bradford.
Yeah, Grace Garber plays for Altrincham, Sarah Hutch as well.
Yeah.
And it gives them obviously more hockey. But men's Div 2, particularly for kind of the senior players who are kind of on the GB fringes as well, it's the physical game is more akin to international hockey as well. So it helps that preparation as well.
Yeah. Seth Towns to Ruby Newlands. Cycling it nicely in that corner as Ruby Newlands holds on. Tried to draw the defender out there, but then comes back around the other side. It was Becky Inker she was trying to draw out of position. And well controlled, but re-enter the zone. It flicks off the heels of Becky Inker once again. Along the boards. Bristol trying to tie things up, but they've got the shot off there with Steph Towns, a quick release. And over onto the near side. Rachel Stockdale leaves it for Aisling Rafter. She got the shout. Good communication back there. And Ruby Newlands can clear out. Becky Osmond will advance towards goal. Attention pass. Blocked though, and Becky Castlewood comes out with it. She'll carry deep round one, defender drifts out wide left, cuts back inside, fires. Popped out the rebound from Gemma Davis. Danielle Turnbull in the corner to help her. Those two work so well to this whole line does, to be fair. Just behind Aisling Rafter.
And just skip over a stick and again converting to attack so quickly.
Yeah.
And Becky Kasner leading the charge. You mentioned Steph being a great servant. I mean, Becky, you mentioned that before. Just since she came down to the northeast playing for Newcastle as it was then.
Yes.
But then settling in the northeast playing for Whitley. A huge part of the club, and helping with the coaching. She does her ball hockey. She helps kind of passing on the experience to the next generation in whatever sport she throws her hand to. And she's annoyingly good at whatever sport she does.
She is, yeah. And you can literally put anyone on her line, and she'll make them look fantastic. That's Kate Ord. Not to say they aren't fantastic, but I think you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It just always brings the best out of the players she has alongside her. Such an intelligent player. Caitlin Stocks controls. There Turnbull carries in. Nice drag back. Ooh, just got away from this. She tried to split with D. Kate Ord will go into the corner. Lucky to cover on the near boards. Lays it off to Nora Egri. Got round Caitlin Stocks, but not Abby Robotham. Kate Ord controls out the zone. Becky Dekova can't quite get back in with Stocks pushing out. Just over 4 minutes played at the start of the third period. Miller Peroni in the corner. Abby Robotham having a really strong shift here. Not just the third line, but essentially the third unit here. Big rebound, but Megan Craig covers it up with Caitlin Stocks coming in and offering some good support there.
Yeah, Megan's had periods when she hasn't had a lot to do, but when she's been called upon, she's been sharp and does what she needs to do to keep it at bay. Bristol obviously starting strongly, looking to get something early. If they get an early goal, it will give them a boost. But the longer it stays like this, you have to feel Beacon's a lot more confident.
Yeah, and sometimes as a goalie, that's the most difficult thing, isn't it? Staying alert when you haven't faced that many shots. She's an exceptional young talent. Very unfortunate to miss out on the GB Under-18 World Championships last year in Istanbul, but such was the depth that they had in goal. I know that Coach Angela Taylor was really impressed with it, and was getting frustrated by the fact when she stonewalled a couple of her shots, which isn't the easiest thing to shut out Angela Taylor, is it? Career she's had.
Definitely.
There's along the boards. Steph Towns will carry out. Cuss controls, thought about coming in, but realised that she had a player, Sprules, in the offside position. Over to Katie Edgington. Good play by Abby Coulshaw. Rachel Stockdale just through the legs and past Ruby Newlands, but she'll chase after it. Goes past Nora Egri. Coulshaw, oh, that comes off the helmet, back out. Stockdale from the high slot, picked off by Steph Towns. Took a nick off, I think, a Bristol player on the way through. Coulshaw controls, back, fires, big rebound, out of reach of Gemma Davis. She will get it now. As we get a whistle on the play, 14-12 remaining. There will be a face-off in the Bristol zone, and again, Craig, a brightish start from the Huskies, which they needed to do to try and get themselves back into.
They needed that, but then it turns over. The Whitley top line comes on. Straight away chances around the net, and Bristol back on the defensive.
Yeah.
It's been a tough one. I say that Whitley jumped on got that early goal and kind of haven't let up since. Yeah.
Turned aside by Davis. Becky cast a word up along the boards, working well with Danielle Turnbull. It's with Becky now. And now Danielle Turnbull. Kimberly Brengan's open, she'll find her. Somebody comes across. Still the all-time leading point scorer for the Solway Sharks ladies team, having spent 2 seasons there earlier on in her career. Phenomenal scoring rate she had there. Becky Dekova races down that left side. Kimberly Brengan. That's going to be a body checking call, I think. Yeah, it will be. But Kimberly, I think she's used to playing more physical hockey anyway throughout her junior career, at least.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a reminder that you can't always do that in
It's always a tough one in the women's game, because as people know, it's non-checking. It's certainly not non-contact.
Yes. Yeah.
But non-checking, and around the boards, you're allowed to rub the player into the boards, but then it's when you cross that line, and obviously the ref felt she crossed the line. She didn't just rub into the boards, and she kind of finished with a hit.
Yeah, she did. It was a good hit actually, if it was illegal. But yeah, so timeout called by the Bristol Huskies. Big moment for them as they go on the power play.
This is, I mean, you don't want to say they need a must goal, but power play chance to get back into the game if they take the chance. It's kind of game on.
Yeah, you feel they do need to convert here if they are to rescue themselves with 13:26 to go. Still plenty of hockey, so it's by no means over and settled.
2 minutes for hockey checking at 46 minutes 34
Face-off will
seconds.
take place in the Beacon zone. They have Steph Towns, Abby Coulshaw, Vicky Smith, Casey Trail out there as the penalty killing unit for the Beacons. Face off to be taken by Miller Peroni of the Huskies.
It's kind of their top line, Sprules and Peroni.
Another Egri as well, Casey Edgington on the point.
Yeah.
Another Egri, steered it wide. Nice flick back by Peroni, who seems to get a lot more ice time for the Huskies than she does for Swindon, interestingly, but really one of their standout performers today.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the 16s final before just as well.
Yeah.
Huge talent coming through.
It is, yeah. Casey Edgington didn't quite gather in. Casey Trail will readjust and gather. Minute 22 left on the Huskies power play. Gemma Davis has to control. Becky Osman switches the play out wide left. I think she was captain last season. I don't see if there's any season A's on any jerseys today from Bristol, so it's a bit hard to see. It's not on the team sheet either, but I'm pretty sure Becky is, or at least was, one of the captains. Steph Towns controls. Comes back through and turned aside, regathered by Osman. There's a tournament every summer, a friendship tournament down in Bristol. She's part of that organising committee down in Bristol. And carries in.
The Bristol tournaments used to be the Swindon tournament. Obviously, it's moved to Bristol now that Becky's based in Bristol. It's kind of the season finale for the women's game.
Yeah.
And again, the last couple of years they've had a junior section as well, which GB 16s took part in.
Yeah, they did very well last year. And that will happen again in June, I think the weekend of the 24th and 25th. There's also a tournament here in Sheffield, so anyone listening in want to attend or even take part, please do get in touch with the respective clubs who organise it, as the Beacons kill off that penalty. So always good to have some summer hockey to get your fix over the months and the close season. A little over 11 minutes left in the game. Forward to Kimberly Brenger, nice drag back. Controlled by the Huskies as they enter the zone. Casey Trail and Becky Castle-Wood. Tussling behind the boards. Joyce Scott-Russell. Puck along the board still, two players from each side. It's just about still moving, so there won't be a whistle. Casey Trail turns back the other way. Out wide and tipped on by Kimberly Brengan. Becky Dakova switches the play, but it's been picked off on the far side by Casey Trail and then helped into the zone by the Huskies themselves, as Whitley will change a couple of players there. Kimberly Brengan, who's clattered by Osman as she was trying to release the puck. I don't think they were looking at one another, which is why it happened, as Aisling Rafter carries in. Drop pass. Huskies will regain possession with South Sumner closing in. Iona Harrison working to regain possession. Now Nora Egri in, Sprules. Just Sprules will carry in. On the split the D. Claire Turnbull doing a good job there, dropping back as a centre. Only really switched to that position in the last couple of games. She was on the wing on that third line with Danielle Turnbull as a centre, but they've moved her up to the second line, reuniting her with Becky Castle-Wood and Kimberly Brengan. That's worked to devastating effect as well. Beacons player tumbles over. Aisling Rafter, who's now back on her feet and controlling the puck. Not wide to South Sumner, lays it off. It will be kept inside the zone. No, dumped in by Benson. 9:08 remaining.
And you've got to say Bristol are still piling forward and still trying. It's obviously a goal can change everything, but they're still piling forward.
Turnbull with the shot there. Turnbull, I should say, kick saved by Gemma Davis. Yeah. And they're making it difficult for the Beacons. I mean, those 3 goals were not easy goals. In fact, to work hard for them. There have been some fantastic shots from Steph Towns, which has been the difference. As Katie Edgington shoots, it comes off the side of the blocker of Megan Craig and then tipped aside. helps by Casey Trail, who will carry out 8:28 remaining. What to Ruby Newlands, who's goes forehand to backhand. But comes back through, it's going to be a penalty, but they won't need it. With Steph Towns rocketing goal number 4. And that should just about make it safe. 4 goals for the Beacons, all 4 scored by Steph Towns. Delayed penalty goal as Ruby Newlands was instrumental in that move.
Yeah, Ruby break through the centre of the ice, pulled a stick handle to make space, got hold down, penalty was coming. And he leaves Steph Towns unmarked at the far wing, and she, for not the first time, she picks the top corner.
That is,
we don't want to say that's that, but
no.
You kind of feel that might be that.
It would take some turnaround now for Bristol to find 4 goals to tie it up. It's been a big performance by a big personality in this Beacons team. Sprules gets a shot, comes off the blocker. That'll be the headlines tomorrow. When you look at the cold hard stats, it's 4 goals, all scored by Steph Towns. It's a telling story. To Casey Trail, Ruby Newlands is open.
And she will get the plaudits, but knowing Steph, she will
quick to appreciate her teammates.
Yeah, turn it on to the rest of the team, kind of giving her the opportunity. She was just there to finish it off. And
yeah, well, she couldn't have done that one without Ruby Newlands.
It's a proper team effort.
Yeah, and I know he's always quick to give praise as Nora Egri comes through. It's a shot off, hits the outside of the post, and that's a little bit of luck that didn't go Bristol's way there. It's another fantastic shooter of a puck as Newlands winds one up herself. Rebound, but Gemma Davis will cover up. But yeah, Steph always quick to lay praise to Abby Coulshaw, Becky Kastner-Wood, Kate Todd.
And Megan, as goalies are, Megan giving the goal frame a little pat. Thank you very much for your help.
Yeah.
You know how mad goalies are.
Yes. And Megan Craig's father, who's been taking pictures this weekend, will certainly agree with that. Loves teasing her. A special breed goalies. And we've got one to our right up here as well in the con box. Kimberly Brengan will control, works it back to Danielle Turnbull. It's a shot on net to the side by Gemma Davis, and the Huskies on the far side will clear, comes back through, strikes the bottom of the goal frame. 6.5 minutes to go, and a little bit more. As Iona Harrison steals it back, tried to keep possession. Vicky Smith will have to step in. It's going to be another penalty here on the Huskies. As going to be hooking with 6:16 remaining.
Talking about goalies at the other end, Gemma, look on the score, Gemma conceded 4, but one of those was a wicked deflection.
Yeah.
2 of those was Steph Towns picking the top corner.
Yeah.
And
what can you do about it?
Can I do a lot about it?
I think she's been one of their best players. Gemma, she's kept the scoreline respectable.
Yeah. As I say, when the season that Eva's down in front of the whole refereeing community, it's an expensive trip.
It was.
But yeah, the year that Bristol won the Premier as Whitley did unbeaten.
Yeah.
Gemma was absolutely immense. That looked in from here.
It looks into me, but not give us rode up the part at the right hand post and Casey Trail.
Whitley have had 4. We'll not get greedy, but that did look very, very adjacent.
It did, yeah. Casey Trail, who tried to steer it on net again. 5:48 remaining. Steph Towns across. It's picked off by.
Maybe it's just that nobody put Steph can score today. So that's the rule.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah. Next target will be 600 points. Well, she must be at 550 now. Last time I checked. Towns winds one up, and that's in the back of the net. And Craig, you called it. It's only going to be Steph Towns. 5-0. It's Steph Towns 5. Bristol Huskies 0.
Yeah. And again, Steph, it's an underrated part of Steph's game. Obviously she's known for her stick handling in close, but a shot from the point. And again, a lot of traffic in front of Gemma Davis. Not a lot you could do about that one, and Stefan loads from the blue, and it's a 5-0 for the Beacons.
Yeah. I'd love to see the third line out here now for the Beacons, as they've not had a great deal of ice time. It'd be great for them to sample this atmosphere now. It's little over 5 minutes remaining. It's looking ever increasingly likely that the Beacons are going to gain promotion.
33.
The Steph Town show. I know our family will be tuning in back home on time, so it's a big shout out to our parents and my father, Paul Towns, a legend in Whitley Bay hockey himself. And such a great family that Steph's got, and great support. 4:40 remaining.
And like you say, hope Whitley can enjoy these last few.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not giving it away to Becky Osmond like that, but
yeah,
enjoy these last 4 minutes and kind of savour the performance and the outstanding weekend they've had. First game Saturday, 8-1. First game Sunday, was it 5-1, 6-1?
Yeah, I think it was 6-1. Yeah.
And then finally closing out the weekend with the promotion game. And another convincing performance. So a fantastic weekend for the Beacons and women's hockey in the northeast.
Yeah, it really is. It's not just, we've got the Whitley Bay name, but it's not just Whitley Bay, as you were saying before, Craig. There's players from all over the region. A lot of Billingham trained players are based in the club as well. Rachel Stockdale being one of them. Jenny Hare, who's a bench coach this season. Will be covered up by Gemma Davis, but yeah, that's going to be a penalty for holding. But yeah, as I say, I would love to see the third line out here now. Let them enjoy some sustained ice time. It's going to be a penalty on Becky Ingo. I won't repeat what the language used there. Apologies if the mic did pick that one up out of our control. But, we will get a face-off in the Huskies zone. It looks like we are still going to go with the top unit here.
Bristol
Steph Towns, Casey Trail.
2 minutes for holding at 56 minutes.
Banked off the boards over to Abby Coulshaw.
2 minutes holding.
Towns again. Took a deflection off a stick. Gemma Davis will hold on. 3:23 remaining.
That first one, you kind of relieve that Steph's not shooting, but then you realise she's passed it to Katie Trail and she's shooting. It's like, oh. But then obviously the second one, Steph taking the shot from the point.
Yeah, well, almost the perfect season then for the Beacons. This is game number 19 of the season. They've already won the previous 18, so this would be a perfect result if they are, which with over 3 minutes remaining, you would think it's safe now. Work back, and it'll be cleared, but so we're going to whistle on the play because the net's off. 3:06 to go, a minute 26 left on this Beacons power play.
So if Beacons take a place in the elite for 23-24, be interesting to see what they do in terms of recruitment. If obviously the core of the team you think would stay. You mentioned Casey's starting in Sweden.
Yeah.
Certainly recruit to try and like a match or better what they did last season.
Yeah.
The last season in the elite.
Well, this is it. Yeah, that will be the target. We'll want to build on that. But Casey Trail will be a loss. I think the plan is that she'll return in the second half of the season when the Swedish domestic season's ended. But there could be some changes on the blue line for next season. We'll have to wait and see who's available. Abby Coulshaw even, all fire. Steph Towns back out to Abby Coulshaw. wide to Casey Trail, just rolls off the stick. Steph Towns is open. Becky Castle-Wood will steer it wide. Abby Coulshaw, Towns is open. Will gather. 2:34 remaining. Fires just underneath the foot of Casey Trail and goes back round. But Abby Coulshaw will collect. Steph Towns. Out wide left. So Abby Coulshaw, Casey Trail's open. She'll go and find her with a rink wide pass. Lays it back off, one timer from Becky Castle-Wood. 2:05 remaining, 25 seconds left on the Beacons power play. Back to Steph Towns, who winds up. Glove save by Gemma Davis and confidently taken. So, minute 59 remaining. It's just about playing these last few seconds. It has been a tough season for Bristol, from what I heard from their team, that they actually enjoyed it still and wanted to stay up, despite the disappointment of the results. But
because you want to test yourself at the best level you can play at, and in the women's domestic game here in the UK, that's the elite league, and you want to test yourself against GB players week in, week out, and I can see why they want to do that. We know they'll go back to Division 1 and regroup and challenge again next year.
They will. Well, I'm sure will be favourites to be in contention for promotion next season. It was ultra competitive this year, with teams finishing second, between second and eighth. There was only a handful of points between them, and 4 teams were battling for the 3 remaining playoff spots on the final day. It couldn't have been more exciting. Like Claire Turnbull back to, well, I was going to say ushers it back to Kimberly Brennan, but she held on herself. Abby Robotham controls as Loftus. Nora Eggery follows it into the zone, a minute 18 remaining. Well, that's going to be a penalty. Danielle Turnbull even is brought down. Minute 12 to go, and there'll be another penalty. Katie Edginson. But yeah, as you say, Craig, I'll come back stronger next year. I'll regroup, and sometimes you need it. It certainly benefited the Beacons as much. It was painful watching them get relegated last year. They're a much stronger team this time, well, now than they were this time last year. So.
Take that going up into the elite next year, and getting a wish for the PP and
Bristol
line stay out.
Iona Harrison's going to take the draw to find Sav Sumner, but goes wide. Kate Ord's out there as well. That is nice to see. Hopefully they'll get to end the game then on the power play. Kate Ord in Gretzky's office. We'll find Sav Sumner. Back to Kate Ord, who will set up the play. It'd be great if this line did get a goal, as Gemma Davis will cover up. And Harrison swiping, trying to get on the rebound. Rachel Stockdale will come back onto the ice alongside Casey Trail. Mona will take the draw. So Kate Ord will follow it behind the net as they were before. Bit of pushing and shoving there. Big rebound, nets off once again. They're going to carry on playing, no, as the puck was live, but nets well off its moorings, and Becky Inker have a few pushes and shoves with Kate Ord before that, leading up to that play. 35 seconds left. Top line will come back out. There's a bit of a delay before we get the puck drop. Gemma Davis just reattaching her equipment. Steph Towns with a draw out wide to Abby Coulshaw. Back to Casey Trail. Rachel Stockdale's open, but Casey will go herself, turned aside. Ruby Newlands will gather. Picked off by the Huskies. 22 seconds left. Beacons will end the game on the power play. Huskies will try and clear, picked off by Abby Coulshaw. Fired off the leg of Steph Townsend away. You can hear the Beacons under 16 girls counting down. Back where they belong. A year's hard work pays off then as the Whitley Bay Beacons return to the Elite League for the 2023-2024 season. They're going to celebrate in style now.
Fantastic performance. This is from, we asked at the beginning if they were still had the energy for the third game in 3 days, and they've battered in emphatically. It's been a great performance. Yes, Steph got the headlines, 5 goals, phenomenal performance, but the team as a whole were on form throughout the game, and Bristol just had no answer, and so they'll return to Division 1. They'll look like and look at what Whitley did, and they'll look to emulate that next year and come back again. So they've got a lot of talent in that team. They showed in Division 1 last year, but as we said again, the gap up until the elite is big, and not everybody can survive. So Bristol will return, but exciting times for the Beacons club, and again having that top team in the Elite League, and it's just huge for the team as a whole.
Well, and it's important as well in terms of having a team that far north in the country as well, because there's a lot of talent in the north of England and in Scotland, and there's a lot of teams based sort of in the southeast area, or Bristol and the southwest. So it spreads the talent around a little bit.
Let's have it once more.
But the handshakes will get it away. What's your thoughts on terms of play of the game? I'll come back to you in a second actually, as the handshakes will continue.
And also
in terms of play of the game, Craig, any thoughts on that?
For Whitley Bay, let's think. Who could it possibly be?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a tough one.
I don't know.
Well, it's only ever going to be Steph Towns, isn't it?
I would say for Bristol, Noah Egri.
Yeah, she's really
that line, Egri and Edgington and Jess Spruce.
Yeah.
Everything that Bristol had going forward seemed to go through them a lot. So I would lean towards Noah Egri and Steph's 5 goals, Megan Craig for the shutout. But
and
I think if anyone scores 5, you can't really look past them.
Well, you can't. If I was looking for a different one that isn't quite so obvious, I would say Becky Castlewood, who never stopped. They all played well, but Becky just is such a professional way she plays the game. She's high-fiving the officials there as we speak. But it is going to go to Steph Towns, and I think there'll be a steward's inquiry if it goes to anyone else. I think Rafter is good friends with Eva Harrison.
I was going to mention for Eva as well. We talked to her before the game at the end of the 16s. Eva's, as a player and an official, it's the last game in the UK. Moving to Sweden. So wish her well for whatever comes next in the adventure for Eva.
Hopefully we'll see her back next year, officiating at least.
I mean, team stripes is what I mentioned for Team Stripes as a whole. Obviously it's an all-female crew. Again for the second year, and some more guest officials from WNIHL countries as well, which helps our female officials develop and kind of see what can be done in the officiating world. So hopefully that continues as well. One
of which is Zora Gotnabek from Hungary, who last year was the leading scorer in the playoffs for the Guildford Lightning and was instrumental in them winning the Elite Trophy, Elite Championship.
And with Amy Lack as well, she was officiating in the women's top division. So that's the kind of thing you want to see our officials aspire to. We've had Dina here, who's been one of the officiating coaches. Dina's refereed women's top division, so you can see the pathway there for the officials as well as the players. So it's fantastic for everybody.
That's right.
There's a lot of other people around.
Very well said, Colin Yeltser, and this weekend wouldn't happen without Leandros.
The Bristol Huskies, their MVP goes to number 66, Joy
Scott then with a Player of the Game award. Busy weekend for her, also playing for Swindon, Top Cats. Abby Coulshaw comes across to shake her hand, as does Becky Castlewood. Danielle Turnbull and Vicky Smith, always nice to see that sporting gesture at the end of a game. As she receives the Player of the Game award for the Huskies.
More photographs.
Well, we are assuming it is going to be
There
Steph
you go.
Towns.
And for Whitley Bay Beacons. Tough decision.
It is.
33,
Steph Townsend with the Player of the Game award. No surprises there. How can you not give it to a player who scored all 5 goals in our team's success, fired our team to promotion?
And again, she leads obviously a big part of the organisation at the club, and she will pass on the
someone with an extra presentation.
congratulations to the rest of the team as well. So
Yeah.
Oh, look, we have an extra presentation. No. So,
Violet Lennon with the flowers to Faye, who's a young goalie and just signed for the Whitley Bay Beacons under-16s team for next season. So that's exciting news for both parties.
Thanks everyone. Thanks everybody who stayed back to the London. Thanks to Bristol coming up for the game. I know it's been a long weekend. Good job Whitley, 3 games back to back. I just wanted to say that it's obviously like last year was a big fan. We tried to make it bigger and better this year. My main aim every year is just to give you all what you deserve, and that's it. And I think this year's been hopefully what you deserve. So bring on next year.
Well, we can't wait for next year.
couldn't have put it better myself. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. The Bristol Huskies and the Whitley Bay Beacons.
Yeah, best of luck to the Bristol Huskies for their season next year.
The teams get ready to leave the ice.
I think Steph Towns has got some champagne
From
here.
myself, on behalf of everyone here this weekend, big thank you to all of our officials,
She gets the cork open.
all the volunteers, all the people behind the scenes.
There we go.
Of course, all
Back to the Elite League.
here in attendance this weekend. What a weekend of ice hockey we have had.
Certainly have.
no, it's been a fantastic weekend, as Jay said. Extending the 3-day weekend, hopefully a blueprint for women's finals weekends in the future. Extending the under-16s, full-length games for all the divisions. The promotion playoff adds an extra game to the weekend. Something to celebrate. And it's been great to be part of these last day and a bit. I know you've done the full 14, 15 games, and your voice will tell you about it tomorrow.
It certainly will.
It's been brilliant to be involved, and like I say, onwards to the new women's season in September, and
Yeah.
culminating in finals weekend this time next year.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. Well, thank you, Craig, for your support on the commentary. It's been enjoyable catching up as well.
Just put the score right, by the way.
Oh, well, finally we
5-0, yeah.
But yeah, thank you all for tuning in this weekend. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage. We'll be back bringing you as much coverage next season as possible. But in the meantime, I'd just like to thank you all for tuning in and supporting us. I've been Adam Atman, and joining me has been Craig Simpson. Thank you, and goodbye for now.